How do we prepare for sleeper cells here in America? People who live amongst us, who've been doing it for years, maybe even decades, who are here to do us harm if they're ordered to by their government. Now, Iran's been in the news a lot because of the bombing. We bombed their nuclear site. There's been a lot of talk about possible sleeper cells here in America. So the question is, what can we do to better prepare ourselves in our communities? If you've been doing the basics all along, then you're going to be in a better position, I would imagine, because carrying a firearm every single day, having spare magazines, having additional ammunition, having a med kit, having a trauma kit, things like that. I mean, that's going to put you in a better position. Another thing we have to do is really become educated on how these people operate. For example, Sarah Adams spends a lot of time talking about the potential of terrorist attacks and sleeper cells, and she talks about fidelity attackers. These people are very different from typical criminals. These people will fight to the death, and that's something that we have to be mindful of. With a lot of criminals, if you show some resistance, they might give up. But with dedicated attackers, they may not give up. So we have to be prepared for that mentally. Another thing, suicide bombers. We don't know how these people are going to really operate, but in other countries, suicide bombers is definitely a thing. Another thing that happens a lot is there'll be an initial attack, maybe a mass shooting, and then as EMT and medical professionals come in to help, another terrorist will set off a bomb. So that's another tactic that we have to be mindful of. So if there is a mass casualty event, be careful just rushing in to really help. You have to be aware of who's around. Is there anybody acting suspicious? You got to pay attention to people's hands, things like that. And I'm not sure we are really prepared for that. I'm no expert, obviously. So this is something I have to become more educated on. But I just want to raise these issues up. Hopefully I can get you guys thinking about this stuff. But yeah, there could be sabotage where these terrorists destroy infrastructure, buildings or something. Obviously explosives is one option. They could attack the power grid. These are other things to keep in mind. They could attack heavily populated areas. So for me, I'm going to carry a certain protocol in this environment. I'm going to, continue my situational awareness, be aware of how people are behaving around me. I'm going to definitely avoid areas where there's a big crowd of people. It's definitely something I'm going to try to do. I'm going to be more mindful of. I have to think of it as, okay, if I'm a terrorist, would I target this event? Is this a soft target? These are some things I would definitely keep in mind. The second thing I would definitely keep in mind is just go over my preps. You know, everything from the food, non-perishable food and water at home, because if there is a big attack here in America, they may shut down a lot of stuff. You may not have access to a lot of the stores and things you're used to having access to. So that's something I have to keep in mind. I think we should all keep in mind. Now, I'm not going to live in fear to the point where I'm not going to do normal things like go to the movies. Yeah, I'm going to continue doing that. In fact, I went last night. I saw F1 starring Brad Pitt. Pretty good movie. I would recommend seeing that in the theaters. But, you know, I'm going to be consistent in carrying. That's something I've been consistent with pretty much the last 15 years or so. Obviously, there's certain places I can't carry, but I'm just mindful of stuff like that. So these are some things we have to keep in mind. So yeah, your gear as far as your everyday carry, and I prefer 45, but hey, I also have a 9mm as well. You know, I have plenty of ammo and gear, and this stuff is just really important. So something to keep in mind. Different ways, you know, traffic. Be mindful of that too. You know how you're driving in Atlanta or in some metropolitan area and there's a gridlock? What a terrorist could do is put an obstacle in the middle of the road like a vehicle. You know how it creates a bottleneck effect. It creates big traffic problems when there's a vehicle in the middle of the road. And it can do that on a highway or stage an accident or whatever. Create an obstacle in the middle of the highway, and that sort of forces people to stop, be stuck on a highway, and then you become a sitting duck. I mean, that's something that they could do. Now with sleeper cells, they can get more done as a group. The terrorists can get more done as a group, but they're also more vulnerable because as a group, all it takes is one person making a mistake, and it can blow the whole operation. The lone wolves might be more effective as far as more reliability, but for the terrorists. But of course, with a sleeper cell or a cell, maybe that might be able to encourage each other to continue with their mission. I don't know. These are just things to think about. Lone wolves, sleeper cells. These are some things to think about. Another thing is, I don't think that all these people are going to necessarily respond when they're given the order to do something, because America, there's a lot of freedom here, there's a lot of opportunities here, and maybe they might be discouraged from committing terrorist attacks if they get exposed to a better lifestyle. But I wouldn't bank on that. You still have fanatics, people who want to see this country destroyed, and we had open borders for 4 years. That's just a reality. So something to consider. Guys, share your thoughts. Have you changed your EDC or anything in light of this talk of sleeper cells? I mean, I don't have to tell most of you guys this, but self-defense tool, really good idea. Extra mags, extra ammo. I'm gonna put these two in my little pistol bag. All right, just a quick little reminder, make sure you have your go bag available, but make sure you have your med bag ready to go. This is if there's a mass casualty event or maybe a simple emergency. You have something to stop the bleeding.